am Jenny Kuda, and I'm with Home with Jen CO, and I have Kendra Strong on with Strong Law, and she is who I send all of my estates and wills and trusts and everything to anytime I have an issue with one of my clients or something for myself personally. I send my friends and family to Kendra, and I really wanted her to come on and chat with us a little bit about what makes her unique and why we want to keep her around and in our back pocket, per se. So thank you so much, Kendra. I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for including me and being such a great, just honestly, friend and referral partner. It's been amazing to be able to meet with you as well as some of your clients. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. It takes a lot to build a community the way that we're choosing to do so. So I love that reflection. Number one question: how long have you been in business and what makes your company unique compared to the others in your field?
Yes. So I started Strong Law actually, we are celebrating our third year. So we are 3 years old as of January. And that is just very exciting. I come from a long line of legal work. I've been an attorney much longer than that with a background in personal injury. And that is actually what I think helps to make my company unique compared to some of the others. I've had a lot of different experiences, whether it's working for government offices or small law firms, and also being able to bring what I did in those former roles to serving my clients. So, as an estate planner, I get to analyze risks all day. And that is something that I think really helps to make me stand out or unique for serving my clients.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree 100% because when we are just thrown to somebody that doesn't do this all the time, it doesn't have a whole long line of background for it, they miss some things. And you talk about that in a lot of your info sessions or in a lot of the community hostings that you have. You talk a lot about how some things get missed, and a lot of those stories are just deeply saddening and they can be avoided. So you catch a lot of those, and I am so grateful that you do. All
Absolutely.
right, what is your company's mission or core values that influence how you work with your clients?
Oh, so that's kind of a two-part question. Our mission, I would say, is to bring modern estate planning to the modern family. We know that today families don't look as traditional as they have been in the past, where it seems, hey, it's super easy. We have two parents and two kids, and it's just, everything's going to go to our kids equally. I myself am in a blended family situation. I serve a lot of clients that have different dynamics. We've got businesses, all types of things that we're working with. So I like to say bringing estate planning to the modern family. And one of our biggest core values that I will highlight is working with integrity. Everything that we do from the very beginning all the way through the end and continuing our relationships with clients is based on integrity. And that flows through all processes that we have, all of my team, and all of the documents that we're producing.
Integrity is a mainstay in my business as well. And we teach our kids the same kind of core value that whatever you do behind closed doors is the same thing that you need to be doing when you're out in public. And what your integrity defines what you're doing when nobody's watching. And I love that you guys uphold that. It feels very important for the work that you do. So, next question, breezing along. What specific services do you offer that are most beneficial to home buyers and home sellers?
Oh, great question. So with estate planning, it is a tool, it's a way to honestly protect your home. So my ideal clients are homeowners and real estate investors. When you own real estate, it's incredibly important to understand what your title says, because that might not be what actually happens in reality if something were to happen, whether it's incapacity or death. So, we'll oftentimes have clients come in here and they were strategic with their financing, but don't understand that that might have actually put their spouse at risk, or their older adult children may not be the ones who are inheriting that home, even though they think that they might. So,
Yeah.
as it relates to homeowners, home buyers, and sellers, it is a service that we want to protect your home. And we do that by way of various documents:
Yeah.
wills,
Can you
trust,
speak
incapacity.
Yeah, speak a little bit more about that because I feel like that's a specialty that you provide to clients that a lot of us won't be aware of if we just go hire Joe Schmo that can do any kind of estate.
Yes. So with estate planning, it is very unique and personalized. There are services out there with, like DIY planning, and you can create a will yourself. But what's really important that clients might not be aware of is how the assets all align with what their goals are. And, even as an attorney, before I truly started practicing estate planning, it didn't really click for me. Of course, I knew it was important to get your estate plan done, but getting down to the why and digging down into your goal. We don't want to leave our loved ones with a mess. That's going to be one of the biggest things that I hear my clients talk about. So, as it relates to specialties, we help homeowners protect their home and have it pass in a way that avoids probate and is streamlined. Things are still taken care of. We're not having to worry about a foreclosure action. There are a lot of different things with that. I specifically serve a lot of clients that are real estate investors, and that can be one extra real estate property plus your primary, or if you are in the short-term rental game or, trying to build up your portfolio, I really bring a unique, I guess, mindset to that because my husband and myself are real estate investors. And so I take my own advice. I give my clients the same advice that I give to my own family, which is sometimes kind of rare, right? You'll have some people who want to keep it to themselves. But the real estate investor clients, we do a full analysis of their portfolio, their goals, reducing their liability. There's a lot that goes into that.
There is a lot that goes into it, and I'm so happy that you know all of the nuance because I can't tell you how many times I've had clients that get into sticky situations with title or how a property is being taken or any number of things that could have been avoided, and you head them off at the pass. And you say, no, 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 we're not going to do that. We're not going to let this get too far where it is far more expensive and timely to handle.
Exactly.
All right. What is a brief example of a story of how you helped a buyer or a seller through one of those kinds of challenging situations?
Oh gosh, a brief story. We we worked with a client whose sister had passed away, and the woman who died actually did own three pieces of real estate in the Colorado area, and all of that had to go through probate. What
Oh,
happened in between that was nobody was taking care of the home. It was a contested probate situation. And so we really helped to connect that personal representative with resources to get the home back ready to sell. It sat for months vacant. There were trespassers, so people coming in and out of the home that were damaging it. We had to work with
no.
um, a local company to install cameras. We got them hooked up with a remediation company. And so even though I'm in legal services, it was still an opportunity to help that personal representative to sell the homes that belonged to her sister. She was out of state, and so having those connections was really important for our client.
Yes, 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 yes. The more that I do this work in this business, I find more often that the community that we have around us matters more than anything. Like, if I don't have a good black book of business, I can't tell you how many clients I would not be able to serve because I don't have those connections to point them to. And I love that you're one of them because you come with so much information. So, that being said, what do you do or what do you believe you do that really sets you apart from everybody else? I already know what sets you apart, but you tell the people what sets you apart from anybody else doing this.
Yeah. I always get nervous when I have to talk about myself, but going back to the core values, it really is about integrity and practicing what I preach. We have personally gone through the probate experience with loved ones. We have, I've witnessed it with clients. And so when we talk about foundational estate planning, it is there and it is designed not just to give you documents. That is just one piece of the puzzle. and at my firm, I want to help build that relationship with clients so that they know what to look for if they're, continuing to build their wealth. A lot of my clients are in their 30s and 40s, so not the typical, oh, we're retiring and we need to check this off, but really people that are intentional about protecting their kids and protecting their assets. And so we are building a relationship and building a community that goes far beyond the documents and making sure that the plan works for them when they need it to work.
Yep. During our personal consultation, both my partner and I were in a two-mom family here. We have two girls that have special needs, and that was something that was incredibly specific that I wouldn't have been able to trust with just any estate planner. So, you being able to really dig into each person's personalized life of what is impacting them and what lights them up and what scares them at night has been so valuable to our experience in doing an estate just personally for our own. So, moving right into that client experience, how do you help ensure a smooth and stressful process for clients?
It's free,
Stress
not
free,
as
not full,
stressful.
not stressful. Yes.
Um, so again, just kind of taking back from my experience in my personal injury realm through what we went through with probate with my mother-in-law, I have a very strategic kind of 4-step system to make it as easy and as stress-free as possible for clients. It can feel very overwhelming. Even making that first phone call to a law firm is very just intimidating for a lot of people. And we want it to be a welcoming, warm experience. The other thing, we are very transparent with all of our prices and everything that we're providing. So part of that first initial meeting is understanding, what do you have in play already? What assets do you have that you need us to look at? And so we are able to give a flat fee price. So there's no surprises. It's not based on an hourly rate or it's not a percentage of your assets. It's really just going to be getting you the plan that you need to accomplish your goals.
Yes, 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 yes. And incredibly smooth. It was so easy to work with your law firm on a personal side, and so easy even on a professional to professional side of things where we're trying to arrange a collaboration of sorts. Your office is just always really on top of it. And I value that in our industry when so many people can be flaky or too busy to respond, or they don't have the systems in place that will allow for a smooth transition for our clients. So, what are some top tips that you have that you would give someone when buying or selling a home for the first time, either with an estate, without an estate? What would you say? Top tips.
Yeah. So first time home buyers, you are making a big purchase, right? For a lot of people, that is a dream come true. I remember when I bought my first home 10 years ago now, to be able to celebrate that. And I was so young, you don't really know what you're doing. And we don't always stop to think, how do I protect this asset? We get the homeowner's insurance, but that second step is to really protect the home in the event that something happens to you, whether it's incapacity or death. So first time home buyers, get your estate plan done. That is my hot tip for that. Minor children cannot inherit property. So if you have minor children and you own a home, it is your responsibility to get an estate plan done. And we'd love to help you.
Yep. Yep. Totally. 100%. What are some common misconceptions? I love this part because you do so well at dispelling these that clients have about your service that you'd like to clarify.
Oh, yes. First and foremost, that estate planning is only for the wealthy or for the elderly. That is just simply not true. Again, a lot of my clients, I do a lot of education to speak to parents with minor children. I have a 4-year-old. He needs us to get an estate plan done more so than when he's an adult. We have that duty as parents to protect our kids and not put them into a situation where they're going to be involved in the court process until they're 21, leaving them a mess. What does that look like? And so estate planning is for everybody, anybody over the age of 18 with a body. The next thing is that, estate planning is expensive. that is relative to what your family or what your loved ones would spend on the back end. So it is actually cheaper. It is more cost effective for your family for you to do this during your lifetime rather than leaving them up to kind of the sharks, I would say, of probate. And the after death market is a very expensive market because people are acting on emotions or just needing to act quickly, and they don't always have the options to weigh who they're working with. So you can give them that gift by getting that done while you are alive.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear it a lot from clients. Well, I have a will. What else do I need? And that will not always protect us from the things I've heard from you. So speak
Yes.
on that just a little bit.
That would be my third kind of myth busting is a will does not avoid probate. In fact, a will is the ticket to probate. That is the document that gets submitted to the probate court for the judge to look at, to review, ensure that it's in compliance with Colorado law, make sure that nobody's disagreeing, right? If there's beneficiaries that feel slighted or are left out, they have the opportunity to contest that will. And so a will tends to give people this false sense of security that they have that done without looking at the other side of what assets do you have that would have to go through probate and would be frozen for a couple of months or subject to creditor claims first.
Such awful things that you don't even anticipate knowing that you'll need to go through, or that your loved ones are passing down to you, or that you would pass on to them. Things that, as part of that middle generation where I'm both caring for young children and caring for elderly parents, I am right in the crux of both, right? And a lot of us in our mid 30s and 40s are experiencing the same thing. And it's a tricky spot to be in, knowing that we don't have control over our parents, but we would really love it if they helped us take care of them in
Yes.
that. And we have to take care of our babies. So there's our ability to control some part of that situation. So, how do you maintain communication and support through the length of this process of creating your estate planning process? What does your team do?
So we are, we are constantly communicating with our clients through through nurturing emails, through confirmation emails, following up with them for any information that we might need, and really just also guiding them through the process. One of the things that is key to our process is providing our clients with a summary of their documents before they even get to the signing ceremony. So it's kind of that in between stage where we're doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but we still want to make sure that our clients are fully aware that if they need to change anything, that they still have time to do that. Nothing is set in stone. And just we love to put on events for our clients. So things that naturally make sense with estate planning, whether it's connecting them to the funeral homes that can help them to do that piece of the planning, or just getting clients together with their families so that you can meet somebody else's kids and really just kind of share that same experience is something that we are proud of and continue to build on.
And that's how I met Kendra, guys. So all of this has been through her community outreach to families just like mine and yours and theirs and all of our friends, that it is those community events that keep bringing us back to this understanding that we're all part of something bigger and we're all part of something greater that needs protection and that is deserving of protection. What kind of ongoing, I know as a real estate agent, as far as ongoing support, I do a lot of follow-up after the transaction and the deal is closed, as well as keeping in contact for many years later. Do you guys offer any of that in your field? Any like refreshers or, hey, let's go over your estate. I saw you had a baby or you bought a house. Like what happens afterwards?
We do, yes. We stay in touch with a lot of our clients, whether it's by sending them birthday cards, celebrating the birth of a baby, and those type of events where you're buying a new home, inviting a new family, if there's a marriage, if there's a divorce, those are all good reasons to update your estate plan. And on average, an estate planner will tell you you should look at and review your plan every 3 to 5 years. That is to make sure that what you had in place back then is still applicable, that you still have relationships with those family members, that your assets haven't changed. And so we at my office, we offer a 3-year review for all of our clients that is included so that we can keep in touch with them. The other side of that is we are launching a legacy club, and that is for clients that feel that they need more support, whether, that is mainly built for clients that have businesses or are real estate investors because things are constantly changing in their life. And so just having kind of legal counsel to review those documents and make sure that title is being taken properly, whether it's the LLC, whether it's the trust. And so we have a legacy club for those clients that need more support during the year.
I love that you offer so many a la carte things like that are very similar, but different than just a standard, what have you, that is you pay one time and you get this one support and this one document and that's it. So it feels very supportive of the journey that we're all in. That being said, I have had a great time interviewing you, and I kind of want to know how can my people get in touch with your people? Tell me here, and then I'll list it in the show notes and in the comments, just your contact information, the best way that they can get in touch with you and sign up to have you review some of their most important documents.
Our website is going to be the best place to go. It really gives you that vibe check of who we are. You get to see beautiful pictures of my family and of the team. So hopefully you feel like you kind of know us by the time that you're coming in. The website is www.stronglawco.com. And you can schedule an intake call right through that link that will allow you to connect with the team, learn more about our services, our flat fee prices, and our process so that you can get scheduled for a strategy session with me.
Yes, it's perfect. And how do we follow you on Instagram or on Facebook? What are you there?
Same thing, Strong Law CO.
Perfect, perfect, wonderful. Thank you so much for your time today. I have had such a great time, and I can't wait to send you more clients and see where it grows from there.
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.